All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the home of the Ravens. Sold-out M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Baltimore Ravens. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
180, 190. 49.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
At the 21-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Red.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. They'll get this to Eckler. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Let's go. Hey, 79.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48.
Check 50.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It was Anthony Averett who got him down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. Shoves him aside. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. A handoff to Fournette. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Not the touchdown they wanted, but hey, you're on the road in the playoffs. They did get 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's a good opening drive, so you feel good about it yourself. You get to the sidelines. The defense feels good about you helping them right out of the gate. The team, yeah, they feel pretty good about coming in the playoffs and getting points on the board right away.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
390. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Out of the pistol. It's Fournette. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hundley completes it to Watt. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. They'll try to throw here. Rivers. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You know, when you talk about Jalen Ramsey, if he were a basketball player, you'd be wondering about the matchups for him, right? Where would he play? What would he cover? In this case, he can cover just about anything. I think his man coverage skills are excellent. Even a guy of his size, nearly 210 pounds, look at the footwork, look at the agility there. As he drove on the dig route and made a play.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, 83 yards. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Tevin Coleman, 61 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3.
Let's go. At their own 35-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Fournette. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there.
Jim. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Alert 3. Watch the safety creep. Watch twitch. Watch twitch.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And an alley to run. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Throwing, Hundley. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
On 2nd and 10, Hundley. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. The kick by Lambo is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. Yeah, Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here's Jones on the return. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and 12. Hundley. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. A good gain there on first down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. He's going deep for Brown. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now on 2nd and 13, Hundley. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tim Williams able to get him for a loss of about 3.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
This is fielded at the 7. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's a big run there by Henry. 44 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Derrick Henry. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
On 2nd down now, it's Coleman, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Tevin Coleman. His second touchdown of the afternoon as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
In the wild card game last week, he had 4 catches, and now he has his 4th catch here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Undercross. Anyway, show it up. Tighten up. Check 37. Kill.
Now Hundley. And he was able to get to him.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And now the throw taken in by Chark. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards the pickup there.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Telvin Smith charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
390. Load it. Load it. Wait, 89.
3rd and long for Rivers. Open man, it's Allen. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 30 yards there. And, of course, the 1st down as well. And you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
A 1st down carry for Henry. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Looking for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
65.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 29 yards. And the Ravens have taken the lead. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so they had to be very front. And he fires one that's intercepted. Cyrus Jones picks it, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throw us downfield. We've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run for it with Bo Scarborough. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Coleman on the toss. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Tevin Coleman saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
2nd and 10. The open man is Westbrook. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook, 79 yards. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Running on 1st down, Eckler. They find some open field here. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Austin Eckler, 56 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, Why do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's got the hook up to Lee. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. They'll run with Fournette. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 38, Hundley. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw here. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. In the slot on the right is Graham. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Coleman now. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Rivers. Got a man. It's Brown. And now off to the races. Down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown. 79 yards as the Ravens push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll drop the throw. He's going to let it fly. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Cyrus Jones picks it. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Here's Rivers. And that is incomplete. A.J. Bouye, the fine quarterback, there to make the play defensively.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Tucker's kick is good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tim Williams in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. The connection made, it's Graham. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Their coaching staff, they were pretty adamant beginning of the year. Our goal is to get to the Super Bowl. Well, they made it to the playoffs. That's part 1, but they fall a little bit short.
And to me, once again, it exemplifies just how difficult it is to not just make the playoffs, but to win games in the playoffs. So you can set your goals high, but if anything is off during that time, you have some key